else wants to stand up and point out the glaringly obvious. That nobody looks at her and thinks, wow, look how dark-skinned you are. So it's kind of incredible that this is the angle she's going down, and nobody else seems to want to mention it. I don't understand why. Yeah, people are scared to say that water is wet. And then I come along and say water is wet, and everybody secretly agrees, and that's why I have such a massive fan base, but I'm pointing out the obvious, and you're right. It's kind of scary that they've manipulated society to a point where we're going to pretend we don't see things and ignore our own eyes because we're afraid to talk. It's kind of scary. I mean, this is an issue about race and moral family, etc., but you can apply it to many different things where people saw things with their own eyes and were afraid to comment on it, and that's where you truly enter the realms of slavery, when you ignore your own senses because you're scared to speak up and say the truth. And I feel I'm in a semi-privileged position. They've attempted to cancel me. They have failed. I'm financially secure. Yeah, I was very financially secure before I decided to go loud mainstream on these platforms, so I knew my finances were secure. And when they tried to cancel me, unfortunately for them, I'd reached a critical mass where people understood what I was saying was the truth and what I was saying was genuinely good for society. And after the last 3 years living through the imaginary pandemic, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm going to. The imaginary pandemic and all the other garbage, people are genuinely...
Tell me what you mean.
I mean by the fact that I'm not saying that COVID does not exist as a disease. I'm saying that when you control the semantics of situations and control the language, then you get to control how people react to them. If you say pandemic on repeat on the news, then people start saying pandemic. But as a whole, when I ask you this as a genuine question, did you see a pandemic? Not did you see people in masks, because people wore masks, fine. You saw the news, yeah, everyone saw the news. But did you see with your own eyes a pandemic? Did you see people collapsing in the street? Did you see hospitals overrun? Did you see ambulances running back and forth? No, you did not. You did not see a pandemic. Once they can convince you to ignore your own senses, then the slavery is complete. They no longer need to actually change reality. They can just tell you the sky is green and you will sit and you will comply. And that's what they're scared of. They're scared of people like me inspiring people to actually stand up and say, no, I don't see that, and I disagree with it. And my cancellation came at a point where people have lost a lot of faith in traditional media mechanisms, have lost faith in traditional social media platforms. Well, absolutely, because people have sat and realized they've been lied to, and they're consistently being lied to. And if you want new information and the truth, or even if you just want a different point of view to come to your own conclusions based on polarizing viewpoints, you're going to have to go to different places, and that's why their attempt to cancel me has failed, and people will seek me out wherever I go on the internet because they know I speak the truth. And that's the thing that's so crazy. It's kind of crazy, yeah, they call me racist. I'm mixed race to begin with. And yeah, it's weaponized virtue. If you have any kind of opinion on anything, you're going to have a degree of the population who's upset with your opinion. It doesn't matter if your opinion is the earth is round. There's people out there who believe the earth is flat, and they're going to be genuinely upset with you. So once the mainstream media decides that you are a dangerous person because you inspire people to think, they're going to come along and they're going to weaponize virtue. They're going to choose a buzzword, racism, homophobic, misogyny, some buzzword that you can't argue against. They're going to take it, they're going to slap it on you, they're going to whip it up in the media machine and try and convince the world that you're somehow a dangerous person and you're a bad person and your ideas should be ignored. And they failed with me absolutely and utterly, and people are starting to realize that they simply lied. Yeah, I've been back 2 weeks now. I have 2.9 million, I think. So, yeah, and Elon is truly a hero of free speech, and he understands we were entering a draconian age of genuine. It was genuinely scary where we were heading, and now I start to feel like there's some hope. We're putting a crack in the matrix and a crack in the dam, and I think a lot of people are fed up with having ideas forced down their throat. But it's important that we stand up and talk about these things because it's happening on every level, even from... There are so many people not pointing out obvious things in the world that it's getting pretty scary to live in this false reality. That we need people to just stand up and say, no, this is absolute garbage.
You don't stand a chance. Now, if you're going to wake up and look in the mirror and understand that you're absolutely not crushable, that you're a rabbit, and that lions exist, and that's not going to motivate you to do something about it, then you're a lost cause. You know exactly what you need to do. If you want to stay killable, but I can't live that. I refuse to live that way. It's a disgrace to my bloodline. It's a disgrace to my parents who struggled to raise for me to be anything other than the best version of myself. That's honor. I have honor to my last name, to my ancestry. People always say, oh, I wish I had something to work on. You can work hard on it. Give me the most jackass thing. You can work hard on it. I don't know, fucking whittling twigs. But if you truly work your ass off, it's difficult for it to have a negative impact. It's very hard to find truly negative energy that's directed in a semi-positive direction. It's hard to say, I'm working my ass off for X and it's negative. You know, you're not doing anything and you're asking a question hoping I'm going to give you some magical answer that's going to allow you to be motivated forever. But motivation isn't real. Motivation is not real discipline. I do not feel like training. but I still try. Because I'm a disciplined individual. You don't get to go through life only doing the things you feel like doing. As a man, you have to do the things you're supposed to do. Because what we said earlier is absolutely true. It's player versus player. Now, if I wake up, I've already got this massive head start every genetic plus all my fight. And I wake up, I decide, even though I don't feel like working, I'm gonna work my ass off. And you wake up way down there, you can't be bothered to work. What chance do you have in heaven? Don't stand a chance. Can't we'll take the girl off you, we'll bankrupt your ass, we'll kick you out your house, you name it. You don't stand a chance. Now if you're gonna wake up and look in the mirror and understand that you're absolutely not crushable, you're a rabbit, and that lions exist, and that's not gonna motivate you to do something about it, then you're a lost cause. And there's no point in asking us a question. You know exactly what you need to do. If you want to stay killable, then stay killable. But I can't live that way. I would refuse to live that way. It's a disgrace to my bloodline. It's a disgrace to my parents who struggled to raise me for me to be anything other than the best version of myself. That's honor. I have honor to my last name, to my ancestors. It would be disgusting for them all to fall saber-toothed tigers so I can wake my lazy ass up, jerk off all day, and ask on YouTube how I can stop being a fucking loser. You understand where I'm coming from? No, 100%. And let me tell you, the struggle sucks if you stay there. We sit around us four and laugh about poor stuff. You're telling me about how your car would stall every time you made a turn, you had to restart it halfway through and almost kill yourself. I told you about the time mine broke down on a hill, I got out 4 miles from home and it started raining. Like, the stories are funny as long as you make it out. So if you're still there and you're struggling thinking this sucks, yeah, it does. But believe me, you'll laugh at it if you do the work. I've never had to deal with procrastination. I've never had to deal with not being motivated because what is the alternative? Literally, be a loser forever? I am sick of reading shit on the internet saying, yeah, you know, some people are special and they take longer to bloom and your time will come. Let me tell you something, 99.9% of people who are born broke, live broke, stay broke, die broke. That is the reality for almost everybody. The internet and their it's all gonna come to you at the right time bullshit is fucking a psyop to keep you down. You already know the answer, you don't need me to tell you. Turn off YouTube! Go do something! You know the answer is to stop doing things that waste your time and apply yourself to something important. Now this may not be a waste of your time, but let me tell you, you're a dumbass, clearly. It's like Googling how to get fit, like you just said. Everyone knows what push-up is. Do 10,000 of them a day. So this is down to you, and listen, you may feel fired up for 10 minutes after this little talk. You're not going to feel fired up forever. You need to put systems in place, you need discipline, you need to get an atmosphere of people around you who are going to keep you accountable and not make it easy for you to continue to be a fucking nobody. And then you're going to fix your life. Otherwise, you're going to stay nobody. That's your problem, it ain't my problem, it's your problem. So you either need to become a warrior, or you need to adopt the ways of a warrior, or you need to accept the position in life. Just to suffer the pain of being a loser forever. But the job at the car wash, maybe I'll take you one day. Correct. Enjoy it. I agree with what they're both saying on a very, very practical level. Is being perfect on purpose, man. Shoot the fucking gun. Shoot. And as long as you're aiming in the general direction you're supposed to, no matter what you do the first time you shoot that gun, you're going to have to adjust the scope. So shoot the fucking gun so you know how far you're off. Every business pivots. Every workout plan is going to pivot. Everything is going to change. You have to shoot the gun to know how far you're off, and then you start honing it in, and then you actually have a little bit of positive momentum that'll get your ass up and going. So shoot the fucking gun, miss on purpose, be imperfect on purpose, take action over everything, because you're never going to do it perfect anyway. So just go.